All right. I'll kick it off first. Happy Thursday, everybody. Big waves to you. Good to see you. I hope everybody's getting some Christmas shopping done because we're going to blink our eyes and be sitting around a Christmas tree. So I don't know what made me think of that other than maybe I hit the panic button early this morning. So good morning, everybody. So I know I don't think she's on yet, but if you see Linda Coleman this morning, or today, or you are friends with her on Facebook, let her know happy birthday. Today's her birthday. We hope she has an amazing day. And she comes on a lot in the coach's corner. And so we just want to wish you a happy birthday, Linda. So our definition, our word for today derives from, we did a call last night with Dr. Crystal Vance. Many of you know Dr. Crystal Vance. And Dr. Crystal Vance has really accelerated her and her team and done some amazing things. But the word last night came up relentless, relentless. And I wanted to look at that this morning, okay, for myself. Okay. So I hope you can find some value here this morning for yourself. But if you look at the definition of relentless, it describes a person or effort that is persistent, unyielding, determined. It conveys a sense of unwavering commitment and its unwillingness to give in and surrender. And Crystal actually said this last night, Dr. Crystal Vance. She said, a year ago, I was having doubts. Is this profession, is the network marketing profession really this thing that I need to be full time in? Like, she was very open. She was very talking about a year ago, there was some discouragement in her life. And then she decided to what I say, go pro. Like, she decided to step out and really get good and harnessing a skill. And that skill was apps and social media and things doing. And she got laser focused. And what I say is she was relentless, because so many people in that same thing and same time frame would have quit. They would have folded tent. They would have went to a different campground and done something different. And she didn't. And so Winston Churchill once said this: success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And so it wasn't like she was going to walk away. Like, she takes great products that affect her health. Why would you quit that? Right? We talked about that yesterday. But she decided that, sometimes if you're relentless, your failures become your story, right? Your story of overcoming, which most successful people.
Well, he's going to have a story of overcoming in a minute. He disappeared. Okay, well, if he jumps back on, then he can continue, but then I'll just skip over to my part and relentlessly move on in this quote. So last night when we were on that call, it was interesting to see on my phone how many people said, do relentless. That's a good word. That's a good coach's corner word. And so when he pulled it up this morning and said, let's do this one, I went, well, perfect, because a lot of people asked for it. So the quote that I found was, I do not think that there is any other quality so essential to success of any kind as the quality of perseverance. It overcomes almost everything, even nature. And that was John D. Rockefeller. And I think about, you kind of picture the water working its way through rock, and it can be just a little tiny drip, but when it keeps on going, it can make a really big change. Look at the Grand Canyon. I'm guessing that's a little bit of a bigger drip, but you get the point that, just that relentless activity creates the change. And I think about in our life that if we are relentless, like Dr. Crystal, what in the world could we create, every single one of us, when we tap into our strengths and then we keep working? So I looked into, how do we become more relentless? How do we, tap into that superpower that we all have? First of all, begin with the end in mind. So figure out what you actually want. Sometimes I think we're relentless in the things that we don't want. And I know that sounds a little crazy, but maybe we are, focused on, let's say, getting out of debt, right? We want to pay off our bills and, feel more financially, free, whatever you would say with that. And then we go do another Target run, and we do another Amazon run, and we relentlessly dig ourselves into a deeper hole, even though on one side of our mind, we're really like, this is what I want, but we're doing activities that are relentlessly working against ourselves. So figure out what you want. If what you want is to have a debt-free year, well, then maybe this year it's a handmade Christmas, right? Which would be a beautiful gift. I'll tell you, last year my daughter she made me, now probably the world's most expensive blanket, so maybe this isn't the the best thing, but she crocheted me a blanket. It's my most favorite blanket. I'm going to keep it forever. I will cry if I think about it too much, but it had her heart in it. So maybe, if you're trying to get out of debt, don't make that blanket, but make a blanket, find a way to, help people in a different way that could absolutely help you get to where you're wanting to go. But begin with that end in mind. Define your objectives, figure out what you want so that you know what to focus on relentlessly. Next is to keep on trucking, right? Just keep on trucking. Build that resilience by viewing failures as just part of the process. It's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to grow. A relentless person sees setbacks as temporary, learns from them rather than letting it stop them from their progress. And I don't know about you guys, but I've absolutely done that, where I feel like something's a little bit of a struggle, or I feel like I'm not quite good at something, and I can deter and get off track. So be relentless, get back on. Next is to be a rock. So be consistent. Maintain consistency. Anybody else posting twice a day? No, 9 and 3, 9 and 3, 9 and 3. Anybody else struggle with being consistent? Or is that just me? Right? I'm like, when does the last time I actually did my 9 and 3? It's been a minute. But if I truly want to be relentless, I need to be consistent. So establish those daily habits, those daily routines that can be so boring, right? That can feel so mundane, but that's what gets us where we want to know, because progress comes even if it's in those little incremental pieces, as long as we're consistent. Next is to be a half full kind of person, right? Be a positive thinker. Doesn't mean that you have to be delusional, right? Like sometimes I think, I have one sister, so hi Karen, if you see this, where everything is rosy at all times, but a lot of times that's because her head is just in the sand. So love that about her. She can always find something positive. She always finds the pony in the pile of poo, but sometimes that can be a little bit delusional, but sometimes it can be a mindset. So focus on that positive mindset that allows us to overcome that self-doubt, that allows us to come over a little or overcome some negativity, because that positive thinking can fuel our determination and can keep us relentless through those challenging times. And then lastly, go with the flow. And Francis sent me a really sweet message yesterday, and he's like, I like how you shared things, but try not to throw yourself under the bus so much, which I can struggle with, so I know this, but this is not a strength of mine. I was just talking to Coach about this the other day, about, that perhaps I can be a little rigid. So if I say I'm doing A, B, and C, well, come hell or high water, I'm doing A, B, or C. But sometimes that's not necessarily in my best interest. A and B might work, but I might need to switch over to D and skip C altogether. And that is not a strength. So if we want to truly be relentless, we have to learn to be a little bit more flexible, to go with the flow, to be adaptable. Being relentless doesn't mean sticking to a rigid plan if circumstances change. So we can adjust our approach but just not abandon our goals. So that's what I have this morning. I don't think we got Coach back. So hopefully he's okay. And let me see if we got Linda. We didn't get Linda either. So guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I will say, if you're coming to our event, if you're thinking about it, we are over 75% full. I'm super excited. I want everybody there. So it's a little scary to think that some people are going to miss out, but we're going to figure it out. So if you want to be there, please don't skip it. Don't skip getting your tickets. Please do it soon so that you're not mad at me. And if you miss it, don't get mad at me because I told you. But love you guys so much. Thank you for spending your Thursday with us, and we'll see you back in the morning. Have a beautiful day.